two, one. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to right here ODE Online Digital Education Mastery. My name is Gabriel, and I am with a Facebook community of educators that we collaborate with each other to share successes. And today, which is Thursday, February 18th, this is episode 94. And we're speaking with Laura Van Rooy of Magic of Nature Camping, Arts, and Crafts for Kids out of Canada. So Laura, she helps other entrepreneurs gain peace, love, and tranquility through experience. And I would like to introduce her to you. Okay, she is a horticulture technologist, a mom, and a grandmother. All right. And she empowers kids to view the outdoors differently. She mentors kids to discover the wonders of the outdoors. Last year, during the zombie pandemic, she created a Shopify store that sells outdoor and adventure equipment. How cool is that? And she started this store to help people get out and feel excited about life. You know, she felt everyone was feeling stuck inside their homes and not wanting to get out. So to continue this effort, she has created a free 5-day challenge called Magic of Nature about nature for kids ages 3 to 12 coming up this March 1st. Laura also loves nature and would love to share her joy of nature with you and your family. Her Magic of Nature 5-day challenge is filled with amazing content which parents will enjoy sharing with their kids outdoors. So everybody, welcome Laura to the show. Oh, Laura, what's up, Laura?
Hey. So I'm in Ontario, Canada.
Nice.
So welcome to Canada.
Yeah, Canada is really cool. Now, Canada is Ontario is. I'm thinking, is that the French side of Canada? Like, yeah, I know Toronto is French, but I don't know if Ontario is French.
All Canada is, we get French in school. We don't all learn it that well, to be honest.
Okay, that's cool. Well, do you speak French?
I know a little bit, not as well as some people. Mm-hmm.
I don't know any French. But I love languages, and besides dominating Spanish and English, because I am Latino Americano, born and raised Latin in the United States. You know, I also learned a sign language about 25, 30 years ago. I learned Hungarian, and I learned some Romanian because I lived in Romania back in 2006, I believe it was. And, you know, you lose it if you don't use it, right? So I get that, you know, French, or any other language. If you're not using it, you're going to lose it. But I do speak English and I do speak Spanish quite well. That's pretty awesome. So, Laura, you're doing amazing things, right? Adventure camping, for example, you know, that has been around for centuries. And way before society cut down our forests, you know, children used to enjoy nature at its best.
Yes.
But things like nature bracelets, you know, and beaded sticks and tree branch tapestry. You know, these were a few of the things that kids did with their parents in the woods. Nowadays, you know, camping has taken a whole new concept, and kids are not being taught anything other than setting up the Wi-Fi, you know, inside the tent and watching internet content. Yeah. Verve means vigor and spirit or enthusiasm. How does your Magic of Nature 5-day challenge, which is being launched this March 1st, exemplify this definition?
Like, to learn about nature is just like so magical, and they can learn you know, about so many things about nature that can help them explore and, you know, just see different ways of looking at things. So I mean, that's a really cool thing about nature, is that we can look at things differently. You know, nature doesn't always have to be your you're prim and proper. You can be messy. You can
Yeah.
do whatever you like, right? So it's really cool to learn with nature.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I remember growing up. I mean, we used to play Tarzan, and that was in a park, not in nature per se, like the woods or a forest. But we in my community, we have a large park where I grew up, and a lot of trees, a lot of dense area. And as kids, man, we used to go in there all cleaned up and come out all scraped up, cut up, bruised up. But we had fun. We'd climb trees, get muddy, have leaves all over our body. And of course, mothers would get upset, because like, I told you not to get dirty like that, you know. But,
Yeah.
well, your 5-day challenge, includes an array of, I would imagine, fun things for the kids to do and get messy. No, what would those things be?
So with horticulture, I got to learn about plants and some things about like insects and things, but like obviously nature is more than that. So so the first 5 days, I was going to introduce them to plants, like, and just like to get to learn like different plant parts, and then like different types of plants, and then like so then there's like, so we can organize plants into families. So when we actually look at a plant, we can say, oh, this actual plant belongs to this family. So like to identify a plant by just looking at it and saying, okay, it's in this family. So now we know that it might be edible, it might be toxic, that kind of thing. And then after that, I was going to do and like introduce some bugs and, like some cool things that we can learn, because, when we're outside, especially, if we just have like a little backyard or something, we might have a garden or something. So to learn of what maybe some bugs we might find in the garden or whichever, and, to explore that. And then when we're also have a garden, we would want to maybe plant certain plants beside each other. So like some companion planting and that kind of thing.
That's pretty cool. I remember as a kid, I was squeamish about a lot of things, right? And most kids are, especially bugs, whether it's a spider, whether it's a grub, a worm, things like that. And, in the woods, you got a whole bunch of slimy little things sometimes. And we're like, oh, no, man, I don't want to touch that. But this is a very cool way to have kids, really be exposed to what nature, true nature, if anything, is really all about. Nature is not just about, putting up a tent and just kicking back and letting the wind blow right by you. I mean, there's a lot that you can learn just by being out there. And especially things like you said, plant life, right? Poison ivy is one of the biggest things, or poison stomach, that occurs in nature. And, kids need to be able to say, wow, I know this plant. If I touch it, I'm going to get a rash. I can't do that. And the same thing with like berries, for example. We see berries in the woods, and you can't be eating everything that looks red and juicy.
Yeah.
That could cause a lot of problems too. So yeah, this is an awesome way to get kids acclimated and get a sense of let's say being scouts or just be more aware, what to do and what to look for when you're in the woods, camping. And that's pretty cool. Uh, because they don't reflect, as a set curriculum, camps are able to orientate, themselves around interests, not simply the age range of the kids. This means that children, even in overnight camp settings, are able to gravitate to communities of shared interests. Can you break down what the magic of Nature 5-Day Challenge is all about?
So So we're exploring plants and exploring insects and like doing the companion planting. And then after we do the 5-day challenge, if they're interested, I was gonna offer 8 more if they're interested. And so maybe to learn about animals, to learn about nature, yes, and the yeah. So, there's so many things we can learn about nature. When we put the when it rains, our land has this automatic filtration system that'll just filter through and make our water clear. And like learning all the really cool things, and that certain like trees will grow together. And if one tree is sick, then the other trees know and they'll actually help the other trees. And it's really amazing to see everything.
Oh, wow.
When you learn about nature. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So it'll be a busy 5 days, for kids going through this challenge, and things, of course, that'll keep them interested and be like, oh my God, not only am I learning about plants and bugs, but now I'm learning how trees actually, as a community, they help each other out, which is actually, I never knew that myself. I think that's extraordinary. I remember watching, what was it? The Harry Potter, not the Harry Potter, the Lord of the Rings. I think it was, when they're in the forest and the trees are helping each other out, before they help the humans, fight the war. But, I thought that was a fairy tale, because it's storytelling. So there you go. A great example of trees that were actually communicating with each other. They were called ents, and they actually help each other survive. And now you're basically confirming that that's a fact. I had no idea. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So what else can they do? I know that you mentioned that they have some arts and crafts. What kind of arts and crafts are included in the 5-day challenge?
So we're going to be doing a little bit of coloring. We're going to label a plant, just so it's not just me teaching. Maybe we'll have some interaction, that kind of thing. And I was going to incorporate like maybe like some rhymes and stuff so we can remember the plant parts better and stuff like that.
Very cool. Yeah, I like rhymes. I don't know any off the top of my head, but I know that kids like that stuff. It's like tongue twisters. I can't even, you said rhymes, and I'm trying to think of one as I'm speaking. I can't even remember one as a child. Wow. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Very good. So let's talk about the long days, and the Canadian weather. Because you live in Ontario and Canada as a big country, at least according to the maps that I've seen, it looks like the whole country is a forest. It seems that way, So you have great weather, or combination of weather and outdoor activities. Whether it's skiing or fishing, and now camping, of course. Now, kids can hike in the mountains and learn about plants and wildlife, and spend their days interacting with arts and crafts. Parents and kids alike will also have a social networking experience. How will magic of nature help, let's say their children to integrate with kids they don't know?
Well, I mean, even letting your kids outside and enjoying nature and being able to share the joy of nature will, like, kids love sharing. They love like showing things they make. They love showing things they've learned. So they might, look, I know how to do this. Do you know how to do that? And I think it will really help them.
Totally, it should help them. Do you plan on like showcasing any of their projects, like on your website? provide them maybe, I don't know, prizes or some kind of reward system,
Yeah.
as they accomplish, some cool things.
Yeah, I was gonna do a draw. Yeah. And I have this little tray for kids that they can use. You can use when you're traveling. You can use it for arts and crafts, and you can use it for snacks and stuff. So I was going to give it away for a prize.
Oh, that's pretty cool. As a matter of fact, I think I wrote that down somewhere. What is the name of that tray? I remember, the B toy,
Yeah.
B toy kids travel tray.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Very cool. Yeah, I saw a picture of that, and I saw like a laptop on top of it too, and I was like, that's not camping. You don't take a
No.
laptop camping.
Well, they do these days. They take tablets and everything. So.
Do they really? Wow. I guess Wi-Fi is global now. You mentioned that you have like 3 levels, or you're offering 3 levels of I guess challenges within your program. What are those 3 levels?
So if they decide to go farther after the 5-day challenge, my first level was the little tray, that B toy tray. And then after that, it was like a package. So the package would be sent out like once a month, and it would give kids arts and crafts. It would give them adventures to do. It would help them explore, give them like rhymes, songs, maybe some card games, just different ways to interact with nature, some projects, that kind of thing.
Wow.
And then the next tier would be learning more. So like an interactive time sort of thing to learn more as well.
Awesome. Are these 3 levels, like you said, progressive, I guess, is this something that they continue to do with you, or they do independently after they do the 5-day challenge?
Well, the package gets delivered to them. So they would do by themselves. They would just get instructions with the package. And then the other one would be done with me, but I might give them other like challenges to do besides that.
Very cool. Nice. Now, the right creative summer camp, okay, can give kids a chance to spend time with others who are as passionate about art and performance as they are.
Yeah.
What is the specific type of art or music or performance that kids will be doing with your 5-day challenge?
So the arts right now are the coloring and the and like the songs and that kind of thing, and the rhyming.
Will they be doing any kind of like performing, or will you be doing like some, sometimes, for example, you can do, well, I remember growing up where we had camp productions where we did like a Robin Hood production, for example, in the Merry Men, or playing fort, which nowadays as grown-ups, they call that, what do you call that? Where you shoot people with a pellet gun, but it's a paintballing. There you go.
With the songs, we'll be doing actions as well.
Fantastic. What kind of actions, if I may ask?
So the middle part of your flower is called like a pistol. So it's an air and it's round, and then there's another part beside it, and the top part's called an anther.
Yes.
So panther, he
okay.
started rhymes with anther. So the panther, an anther. Yeah, just rhyme and have fun,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And kids just love it up. They do. They live it up. They love it up. And it allows them to just be themselves, right? Make a mess, be creative. Live, love. Sing, dance. I mean, that's just about everything that kids really like to do. Just to exert their energy, which is a beautiful thing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Finally, here, Magic of Nature organizes, like you mentioned, explorations and collection of interesting objects from nature.
Yeah.
These keepsakes are part of a high value service, that you're providing. However, after the 5-day challenge, are there ways for kids to extend their experience after camp is done?
Yeah. So we're doing, like I said, I'm going to send out a package with, if they're interested, and they get to continue doing that and that kind of thing. And then the other way is with me as well. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So the extended package with you would be, when you say extended, or when I say extended, um, how much time would that be after the 5-day challenge? Would they be spending like another week, or they can spend another 2 weeks, a month, 6 months package? How long would that be?
So it was going to be every 2 weeks, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. Every 2 weeks, and that's for the whole, let's say spring, summer session, or is that throughout the rest of the year?
Yeah, it was going to be for the year. Mm-hmm.
Oh, fantastic. So every 2 weeks they can, how can I say, re-register with you over a 2-week period, to extend their knowledge or their creativity with exploring, with, bugs and everything else that comes along with being in the woods. Yeah, because, if I find a beetle, I'm a kid, I find a beetle and I'm in your camp, I want to be able to come back and say, look what I found, and
Yeah. So
showcase that.
after the challenge, they can register with me for like a year, and we can explore it together. And when I was going, I will reopen it every couple months, so it won't be open all the time, like
Yeah.
the actual way to do it. Yeah.
Awesome. Wow, that's pretty good. So a year, and then of course every other month or so. Wow, that's pretty good. That's fantastic, Laura. I like what you're doing, really. You and I work with kids. I teach kids English in China. I do that online.
Nice.
And I think kids are really wonderful, and they deserve a lot of breaks. Instead of misunderstandings, because we're adults. Sometimes we believe that we know better, but you know what? I'm a strong believer that kids actually know better than adults. We just don't see that.
Yeah.
So that's really admirable what you're doing, and I think it's a great thing. I read yesterday or the day before when I was preparing our live that you know camping for kids is still something that is still prevalent nowadays. It's really important, and kids need that. Summer camps, winter camps,
Yeah.
any kind of camp, they do need that kind of break.
And it helps with so much, like usually when not always, but when you're camping, sometimes you're near other families, and it helps with socialization. It helps with like dexterity,
Yeah,
because you're not always dealing with the same textures you would at home. You
right.
know, it's really prevalent. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great thing that you're doing. And, if anybody wants to and should, okay, be taking their kids to Laura's Magic of Nature camp, keep in mind that this 5-day challenge is starting very soon, March 1st, 2021, not 2020 like I thought about half hour ago. And just hashtag magic, leave a comment or contact Laura directly, on her messenger or her Facebook page, and get your kids registered, get them out of the house. This zombie pandemic, okay, should not limit your kids from exploring and learning arts and crafts and doing things that'll really, help them in the long run, feel less stuck at home, Plus, this is a good experience for a lot of kids, and they're in great hands with Laura. So, yeah, Laura, I think you're doing an amazing stuff, and I think it's really admirable in so many ways.
Yeah.
And
Like
thank you.
once a kid's like, even if they're in the backyard, or at the playground, to explore nature is amazing. And when kids are outside, they're
Right.
well, even adults, we're more grounded,
Yeah.
and we can actually see more everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
And we can actually, see more everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See more everything.
Yeah, and we shouldn't be. You're living in a geographical area which has that amazing potential, and it should be taken advantage of, right? You have more nature than we do, at least where I was raised. New York City is not your, your camping area. You got to go, north of that, of course. And as a
Well, you
state,
still have plants inside. I know it's, might not be a lot, but
right?
I wouldn't limit yourself, on your area, because I mean, there's playgrounds no matter where you are.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And, and if you want, you can find nature. There'll be a tree, there'll be a plant somewhere, right?
sure, absolutely. I agree with that. I'm just looking at nature more like the forest. I don't know why.
Mm.
Because I love freshwater fishing, and I used to go freshwater fishing. And from the New York area where I was raised, I would have to travel minimum 1 hour to go to a nature area where there was actually a reservoir or a freshwater lake. You can actually see hills, some mountains, and a lot of trees. It was more dense. Well, actually, where bears hang out. You can't get that in a playground, you know. But I get what you're saying. If you're limited, yeah, if there's a tree in your block, that's nature.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, everybody, if you're watching, get your kids registered with Laura. Okay, March 1st, it's her launch for her 5-day challenge, Magic of Nature. And don't forget, hashtag magic, or send her a message on Messenger. She'd be more than happy to answer your questions. All right, so Laura, thank you so much for your time, really. I really enjoyed this. I think people, families and parents will get a lot of value out of this. And once again, this is me, Gabriel, with Online Digital Education, Facebook community of teachers. I thank you all. And Laura, thank you so much for your time, really. I hope we can do this again this year, at least 2 more times.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. You have a great day.